Hello, this is Adama Law Studio. I'm Mr. Buzune Wakoya. Today I'm here to talk about intellectual properties and blockchain technology. How intellectual properties can be recorded on blockchain technology and how blockchain technology can be the source of evidence for intellectual property issues in case disputes arise in courts and other places concerning priority rights and authorship on intellectual properties. How blockchain technology can provide evidences and how it can keep records of the evidences beforehand. This is going to be a continuation of the presentation I have made on blockchain technology before on Adama Law Studio YouTube channel. So today our subject is to blockchain technology and intellectual properties. How intellectual properties are linked to blockchain technology. So let me explain intellectual properties somehow. Intellectual properties are invention results, musics, books, trademarks, trade secrets, and industrial designs, and so on. These all are the result of inventions. The result of the work of a mind. A person who produces the product for the first time needs the right to benefit from the product. That's the thing. That's to encourage intellectual peoples to produce things. These intellectual properties are usually made digitally. As I have said, are the result of the work of a mind of a person. A person who produced the product, the music, the book, any invention result needs to be protected, needs to be the owner of the product. That way we encourage invention to go on. The World Intellectual Property Organization is there to defend the result of intellectuals' work. So these intellectual properties are very sensitive, especially when they are put on internet. They are digital files. Usually they are susceptible to hackers, to anyone who want to use, manipulate it, and so on. Usually most people claim ownership right or authorship right on these intellectual properties because they are not being protected very well, almost in all jurisdictions. Intellectual properties are best protected on blockchain technology. That's my point. Because blockchain technologies works on transferring values, keeping values, and saving values. They can keep any digital files properly, securely, and immutably. I have already mentioned before. Intellectual properties, which are usually susceptible to change, to hackers, to alteration, and to mutilation, can be properly saved on blockchain technology through what we call timestamping. Timestamping is a tool we use on blockchain technology to keep the date of the data, the content of the data, the owner of the data, and we link through timestamping an electronic document with a specific time and a specific entity. That entity may be a natural person or a company. So these intellectual properties usually go through steps. If you take invention, for an invention to be registered, there are requirements. The invention must be novel, it must be new, it should not be obvious, it must show inventive steps, it must show some kind of industrial applicability, it must be legal. The production of the product must be legal. That is a statutory requirement. So for an inventor to defend his rights on the property or to claim his right on what he has invented, he needs to produce an evidence on the fact that he is the one who produced the invention. He has to show to anyone requiring that the inventive steps he has gone through, and the fact that he was the owner and the producer of that invention from the very beginning to the end. So he needs to record his invention's life cycle on blockchain technology. He can keep the records of his invention stages on blockchain technology. Blockchain technology helps him to keep records of every steps of his invention. We call it invention's life cycle. If someone's invention's life cycle is properly recorded on blockchain technology, he can use this technology and this data as an evidence at a court. If we see music, books, and other artistic and literary works, they are not registered at government for their protection to emerge. Usually what is required for literary and artistic works, they are supposed to be fixed on some kind of visibility. Of course, it may be invisible as well. They are required to be fixed. The idea of the literary work, or the music, the literature, and the others needs to be expressed, and they need to be fixed on some kind of tangible or intangible way, so that people can access the product, and so that we can link the product to that author, or that writer. So it is very hard for an author to show the fact that he wrote a book in these days, because everyone is taking through AI the products of others and mixing together and refining his own way. So those who are writing books, those who are doing music and movies, those who are engaging on all literary and artistic works, they need to come to this blockchain technology, which keeps their products recorded, which gives security for them through timestamping. Timestamping gives for the product a hash value, an address, a code which is mysterious, which is secret, which is known only by the author, a man who is doing the authorship work. Timestamping gives a hash value for the product when it records. That hash value, that hash is unique, it cannot be misinterpreted, and the court can understand very easily when the evidence is provided as to how the production stage of the product was going on. If you see some kinds of the world, if you see European Union, they have come up with a regulation number 910, which talks about how blockchain technology can help to prove the ownership of intellectual properties. And if you see block.com, it gives a service of blockchain technology, and most lawyers, most courts are going through this block.com to check out the evidences concerning a dispute on intellectual properties. So all intellectual properties, trademarks, trade name, inventions, industrial designs, trade secrets, all can be recorded on blockchain technology. And anyone who is going through processing an idea, processing an invention, processing a music, a book, anyone doing his best to come up with intellectual property can go to blockchain technology owners and record his product's invention cycle. That way, he or she can defend her right to the property properly. the thing is, intellectual properties are very susceptible to change, to hackers, to abuse, to mutilation, and so on, as I have mentioned. They need to be registered properly, especially those intellectual properties the government does not need to record, to register, to give entitlement of ownership. They are usually susceptible to change and to mutilation and to other dangerous things. So those who are doing literary and artistic works, those who are writing music, doing music, those who are writing books, those who are doing movies, it's better for them to go to any place they can access for blockchain technology, timestamp their products, and keep their products online where no one can access, because when timestamping happens, it is encrypted. It is beyond encryption, because the hashing process is doing beyond the thing of encryption. Encrypting a data is changing a readable data to an unreadable data. But if you see hashing is not something you can decrypt. You cannot bring to the first place. So hackers cannot do that on blockchain technology, except a guy who has an authority to access his data. So blockchain technology is very relevant for law school students, for our universities, for our businessmen who are doing, especially those who are developing softwares, those who are doing invention things. They need to understand about this. In addition, blockchain technology can help to make agreements concerning intellectual properties, for execution of agreements concerning intellectual properties, and so on. Agreements, for example, concerning intellectual properties can be made on it may be selling of the product, it may be hiring the product, giving in lease the product. So any agreements concerning a specific intellectual property can be recorded on blockchain technology. So this technology can give not only service of recording the intellectual properties, but enabling any agreements connected to intellectual properties to take place and to run. That's all why we come here today on Adama Law Studio. Thank you very much for your attendance.